Shawn Porter Promotions.
You're excited about the music being back. Starting the show off right. Like that intro is like a balanced breakfast.
Yeah.
Start your day off right, man.
A balanced breakfast.
All right, go to favorite cereal. Go. John.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Okay.
Frosty Flakes.
Frosted Flakes. Okay.
You say Frosty Flakes?
Yeah.
It's frosted.
No. I don't like frosted. I like Frosty, the off-brand.
Oh, okay,
I respect that.
Yeah.
My favorite cereal is actually Basic 4, which is not like a sweet cereal, which might be surprising.
What is it?
Basic.
Basic 4. It's pretty good. Shout out to the Basic Wolves.
I'm not familiar
But
with either of those entities.
But yeah, Basic 4 is solid. But
Hey, that's my high school. This too wild.
If I have
man.
to go with a delicious cereal, I'm going Oops All Berries.
And then he shouted out your high school.
I'm like,
I was just gonna shout out the high school. You went there?
shut up, man.
Ant's high school is basic high school, right? Just
Yeah.
basic high school.
Yeah.
And y'all are the basic what?
Wolves.
The basic Wolves.
Shout out to
And then my
Basic.
dudes
Hey, they
said,
just won a state championship in baseball.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Congratulations.
what?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, they're nice in baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they beat Bishop Gorman,
Yeah,
who
which
has
is-
one of the top baseball prospects in the country. Carl Crawford's son used to play in the league.
Gotta get my guy. Hey, you got a kid, right? You know, and you got two kids.
A couple of them.
Yeah,
man.
I had a couple.
Yeah, you ever hear somebody say, "Oh man, kid just so advanced."
I don't believe that. I don't listen to that. Like
All the
your
gra-
kids are different
Yeah,
now.
hey, all the grandparents. Oh, he's so advanced. The mom, he's so advanced. I'm like, my kid ain't that smart. He's 50% me. I'm dumb.
The trick is to keep them there. That's the trick.
Keep him where?
Both of my kids are advanced. Diggy started walking when he was.
Hey, talk to me when you're in high school.
Diggy started walking when he was 9 months old. So kids normally don't walk until they're a year. And I started walking just before he turned a year. And then the list goes on with everything else. Diggy started school. School started in August. Diggy didn't start until March. And he is further along than everybody that started in August. But my kids are advanced, but I believe that kids nowadays are more advanced than we've been in past generations. The trick is to keep them there.
Keep them advanced.
It just like my dad taught me, you stay ahead. That way you never have to play catch up.
Yeah.
So when a fight is announced in June,
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
we were training back in January. You know what I mean? So that we never had to worry about being prepared for a match.
You guys are just completely distracted by the people today.
No, we keep it going though. We keep it going.
I didn't break.
Hey, my fault. You
I also am looking
looking this
I'm
way.
also looking at
Yeah.
you guys. You guys.
You don't get to get to be a part of the fan.
I don't
It was Russell. It was Sierra again.
Oh, there you go. No pictures.
So no. That's the trick. The trick is to
Okay.
keep your son. When you start to see something not there, like pay more, like give that more attention.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's what I've at least tried to do.
And you talked to the kids this week.
I did, man.
Last week.
I went out to Connecticut. My second time in Connecticut. First was last year, broadcasting the Olympic Games for the boxing. That was terrific. This time around, I was in Hartford, so I was in the capital of Connecticut. How do I know that? Because I had to ask somebody. I said, "Yo, what is the capital?"
You said the H.
You're sitting in it. You know what I mean? So, I had a fantastic time doing what I did. I touched down Thursday afternoon, and we did our little photo session and podcasting and all that kind of stuff. But then we get to the main event Friday, and I text you. I was like, "Yo, this is a little hood. This is a little ghetto right now." And I was like, what did I get myself into? And
Hey, anytime you take Shawn anywhere that's a little hood, he always says, "What did you get me into?"
So then I said, you know what? Relax. Let's just see how this goes.
Yeah.
And sure enough, once we actually got into doing everything that we were that I was brought out to do, the reason why, let me kind of, we were supposed to start at 10 o'clock, and it was like a live Zoom.
seen the tweet.
It was a live Zoom at 10 o'clock, and I'm looking at 10:30. I'm like, come on, y'all, come on, you bring me out here.
It's looking bad.
Yeah. So, but I digress. When we got to it, it became a worse to amazing. So amazing that I'm trying to get a good video of everything that I was a part of. And if I'm able to get a good video, I'm going to use that as the Motivational Monday for June.
Okay.
Honestly, man, that's how good it was. I think there was 7 of us on the stage that were speaking. And I'll give my bit just really quickly. The first question was, is hate something that you are taught, or is it something that you're born with, or is it something that you learn? And we all addressed it in our own way. And I just thought it was pretty cool how none of us were briefed on what we were going to talk about, yet we all had something to add to it. Nobody, of course, there's some repetitiveness within the questions because we all understand. Right. I digress. The first question was, is hate, are you born with hate, or is it something that you learned? And collectively, we all say it's something that you learned. And, I said, you have to love and be positive no matter what. I talked about, I think somebody tweeted one time that, like, why is Shawn always wearing these popcorn suits or something like that? I brought up you pay attention to my Twitter.
Yeah. Carson definitely retweeted it.
Yeah, he did. So I said, people have talked about my suits. Some people like them, some people don't. It's not going to stop me from dressing the way that I dress. 100%. You got to be confident in yourself. You got to be, you got to always be positive even when negativity comes your way. You know what I mean? The next thing we spoke about was keys to success. And I got to do this one for this guy, but of course I gave my keys, and we heard that while we were on the stage as well. But I gave my keys. Soon. Hard work, dedication, focus, faith. Mayweather. It started. It was kind of. I was like, because Carson said that like way back when I started doing that. He's like, yo, that's what Floyd says. I said, well, you know what? I added faith, so kind of that separates us.
Peace be with you.
But faith, hard work, dedication, and focus. And then my guy came up and he said, you got to always be a pro. And I was like, yeah, my dad has always demanded I be a pro at all times. When I was 8 years old, I had to be a pro. You know what I mean? Like, but he said, but then he broke it down and ended up being an acronym. Patient, resilient, and optimistic. I was like, yeah. I was like, okay. And then the last thing we talked about was what motivates us, what keeps us going, even after being successful, what keeps us going, So I'm going to do the best I can to get a good video of that. If I'm not able to do that, then I'll pivot and do something else. But look forward to a very good Motivational Monday that was captured this past
Dunkin' Donuts part?
Friday. You know what? I'm mad at Dunkin' Donuts Park.
Really? Shout out to the Hartford Yard Goats.
How you end up in Dunkin' Donuts Park and you can't get no Dunkin' Donuts?
Why you always say stuff like that?
I was like,
I think you said that when you was on the Breakfast Club. Was that you?
Nah, it wasn't me. It was somebody else. I ain't been on there in years. Shout out to the Breakfast Club. I think we coming to New York next week, man.
We going on Breakfast Club?
See what we can do.
I'll fight that fool.
For what?
I don't know. I feel like it'll make the podcast go viral.
Yeah, no. Don't do things for the podcast.
Ant's just gonna yell, "Deport away!"
Not that. Yeah.
Land the shot. I respect it.
Nah, shout Charlemagne.
He's gonna jump over the bus.
Shout Charlemagne.
Swanton bomb.
That's one of the guys.
Angela Yee.
DJ Envy, light skin. He's leading the light skin.
I know we're probably gonna end with New York, and we'll end with Tank and Rolly and all that kind of stuff. But we will be in New York next week.
Who was on the any names you want to drop on the panel with you out there?
Nah, we struggling with some of these names, so I said, you know what?
We'll save it for the Motivational Monday.
Yeah, let's save it for the Motivational Monday. But the
panel was strong.
The panel was strong. We had someone on the panel that is going to be running for the Senate for the state of Connecticut, and I just thought that was amazing to see a young man.
We can also put this in the description.
This young man having that goal and goals of that nature, and not being afraid, not having the fear of the what ifs,
of failure.
Yeah, but really willing to go for it. So I was amongst some fantastic people. We'll put that all in the description, and hopefully we'll have that for Motivational Monday this coming June.
I want to shout you out, man. Shawn's probably been more busy post-career than anybody I've known,
That's an
man.
understatement.
Hey, I get worried about stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not worried no more. Hey, my girl was like, "Is he good?" I said, "Well, he is working."
And was just slipping Shawn $5, just like into his coat pocket.
Got to save his funds with Shawn. Yeah, he knows.
I think I owed you $5 for something. I don't know what.
I always worried about that, but man, my man got to the grind. I didn't even know you had it in you. I ain't gonna lie.
This is what
I'm serious.
Yeah.
In the ring, he's a different monster, but I ain't know Shawn. Shawn's been on it, man.
I told somebody the other day, while me retiring may have seemed random and in the moment, it very much so was not a emotional in the moment decision. Yeah. It was not a random decision, and I wanted it to be
despite your dad.
It was not despite. It wasn't despite my dad. I wanted everyone to be surprised. I wanted everyone to say, "Okay, well,"
and it's something you and your wife and your household talked about.
Yeah,
you just kept it in house.
Yeah, I kept everything in house, and I always have. And I mean, I think that is very random for me to want to act, but people are just now learning that I've been interested in this for 20 years.
Yeah.
No, I haven't acted for 20 years, and I haven't gone to acting school for 20 years or anything like that. But
the goal's been there.
Definitely in the last 3 years, I've been in some acting classes and some studios, and the list goes on. So while, to your point, while everything seemed to be a little hasty and random, I was ready for it all, and I'm literally pursuing everything that I've wanted to do. I have a certification in life coaching. I of course have a lot of goals in terms of doing more motivational speaking.
AmateurBoxingChampions.com.
Yeah, AmateurBoxingChampions.com. Yeah, everything.
Your story is similar to one of my favorite baseball players of all time, CC Sabathia, future Hall of Famer. But he just retired not too long ago, and he does a podcast, R2C2, and he was like, his coach was like, dude, you seem more busy than you were when you were playing. He was like, oh, 100%.
Hey, sorry to cut you off. You got a fan at the window.
Man, nobody knows him. And
I love Carson shirt on.
That would be hilarious and shame for them.
I would cry. Carson, look.
You need like I said, you need loftier
He didn't
goals.
take it until Carson turned around. You see that? They're gonna close the blind. And you keep. They're gonna close the blind.
It's like that kid that's always looking out the window.
I was gonna say, Ants waved to everyone.
I like being in the zoo. You know what I'm saying? I like that people walking around.
Would you stop saying I'm in the zoo? Because I feel kind of racist.
I was gonna say you guys are gonna be.
I didn't want to say that for a while now.
You guys are gonna be in New York, Brooklyn Zoo, RP,
boom boom.
Old Dirty Bastard.
You coming?
No, I won't.
Your wife's gonna be there.
That is funny. But
shout out to Jamie Foxx bait. That's the only reason why I know what the Brooklyn Zoo is.
Okay. Not the great song by Dirk McGirt.
No.
Okay, fair enough. But
you think your wife can come on the show?
No. All
right.
But
where we at?
Blue Wire Studios inside the Wynn, drinking the gold leaf water by the Wynn Hotel and Casino.
Let's do that.
So you want to? So we usually start, and we don't have Zytel here today to do his DAZN accent, but we can start with DAZN. as we typically do. Man. But there, those DAZN cards are 50 fights deep at all times. But go through there. Ellie Scottney got a win, and we might have something with her later. Alan Babic, the Savage.
I like that.
Yeah. He literally fights like people would want to think they fight. Because we always
what?
AKA?
Yeah, our guy Martrell.
Yeah.
Because people
okay.
Because I feel like when people are talking like, oh man, if I was a boxer, I'd go in there and I'll walk him down, I'd throw these big shots. And that's literally what he does. He just bell rings right at him immediately. And he throws these big shots. He got dropped in the first round, and the whole fight, they're just rocking each other. So one thing I want to ask you, because I'm not sure procedurally how this would have worked. So at the end of the ninth round, bell rings, and he gets hit with a big shot. And he was as hurt without going down as I think I've probably ever seen someone.
Yeah.
He like falls back, and he's clearly hurt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Goes to the corner, they're dealing with whatever. Next round starts, they take a point from the other guy. But my question is, what would have happened if you would have been knocked out in the 10th?
I've seen that in the amateurs.
Is it kind of SOL? Like, well, maybe you shouldn't have stayed on your feet. Like, you should have been knocked out then.
Alan Lawrence, one of my great friends from the amateur system, and we have spoken about guys that you never saw. Alan Lawrence literally is one of those guys that you never had the opportunity to see. And without going too much into his story, unfortunately, he just couldn't get to the next level and be strong at the next level. But in the amateurs, he was a complete monster. So much so that there were when you would show up to a national tournament, everybody would look around and you say, okay, he'll be in the championship, he'll win. see him in the semi. And you just kind of know who you're going to see where. Mm-hmm. And so this specific tournament, especially, I think he was a returning champion or something like that. He's supposed to be in the championship. He's supposed to win this. The very first fight, he's fighting a flat-out bum. I don't even know who it was. Sorry, I don't mean to disrespect you. But dude just wasn't supposed to win this fight. And as the bell rings, he's connecting at the exact same time. And they went as far as to try to disqualify him from the tournament. But guess what? Not only do the fighters know him, the judges and the referees know him. And they're like, wait a minute. Of all people, you cannot disqualify Alan Lawrence. You mess up the tournament if you disqualify Alan Lawrence, because this is a qualifier for guys to fight internationally. Yeah. We need him to fight internationally. We can't do it. And so it was a long, drawn-out process, and he ended up not getting disqualified, if I'm remembering correctly. But that's kind of, it's one of those unwritten rules. Like, you have to take a look at if the punch connected before the bell, and the list goes on. The procedure, if you get hurt and the bell rings, you get to make it to your corner. You get that minute, and then after that minute, you're supposed to be looking at you immediately to make sure you're okay.
Yeah, but like if he gets, hypothetically, if he gets knocked out in the 10th, does he just lose? Like, it's just like,
if he got knocked out right there in the bell had rung.
So if he gets hurt like he did, sits down in his corner, whatever, they try to get him back, and then the 10th round starts and that guy rushes him and ices him, you just lose, right?
Because
even though it was a foul that caused the initial issue,
if it was so blatant that punch after the bell, if it was so blatant that they felt like they had to take a point, what's done is done. We've taken the point. Let's move forward with the fight. He gets blitzed and can't make it through. Yes,
not bad strategy, I guess.
Yeah,
you don't get the 5 minutes.
Nah, what did you get 5 minutes?
I don't know.
He won. That was at Bridgerweight. He's not a big heavyweight, and he was fighting a heavyweight, so Bridgerweight or Cruiserweight might make sense for him. But Chantel Cameron is great. She had a lopsided win, and then main event was Joshua Buatsi and Craig Richards. It was a really close fight, and the broadcast, it doesn't impact judging, but this broadcast was just
one-sided.
Oh my gosh, Buatsi couldn't do any wrong for most of the fight.
Hey, Carson, isn't me or DAZN is really one-sided in a lot of their calls with the broadcast?
To be fair, I think a lot of them are, because we'll talk about Top Rank, and they were really,
shout out to Tim Bradley.
Yeah, they were really peddling something yesterday, but it was just really one-sided. One thing that was funny about it is, so Craig Richards, he lost close decision. I thought Buatsi won, so I thought it was the right winner, but he would get hit and he would just kind of take a half step back. And every single time he did that, you might be hurt. Remember when we watched the fight with your guy? Yeah. And every time somebody gets hit, every time he got hit, I think you hurt him again. I was like, I'm not positive Richards was hurt once in the fight, not even the 50 that you claimed that he was. But Buatsi's trained by Hunter.
Barry?
Virgil Hunter.
Okay.
And they had, pulling ponytails, but they had so Eddie after the fight was in Buatsi, I guess for context, they fight at 175, which is becoming kind of a hot division. There's some good guys on DAZN on that side, but Eddie afterwards was like, if Bivol doesn't go into a rematch with Canelo, I'd like to see him fight Buatsi in England. And he kind of mentioned that in the post fight, and Virgil, he wasn't hearing that. He wasn't hearing that. He's like, I don't know about all that. Buatsi's still young, and so he was like, I don't know about that just yet. But he looks like he's gonna be pretty solid pro. But going to Top Rank, we had out here Resorts World.
Did you go? You pulled up?
I did not pull up.
Oh, okay.
Would you pull up without me?
I'm not
on who would be fighting.
Not gonna lie, I was gonna hit you and say, hey, you want to go to the fight? And then I had stuff to do.
Yeah, I just sat on my couch watching the fights. I would go depending on where and depending on who.
I already knew the answer to that. I guess. Yeah, I already knew the answer to that.
But like if Rigo's fighting out here,
I already knew that.
He'll go solo.
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, with a pot of greens or a pressure cooker.
Yeah, I hope he's doing good. And they said his one eye is starting to recover fully, and his other one.
Hey, who's saying this?
Boxing scene, I think. Shout out to my guy, our guy Jack Donovan.
Come on, man.
On Rigo? Oh yeah, for sure. I'll always have updates on Rigo, the Rigolution.
You wake up thinking about him?
No, I don't. It's not even. That, but
dude hurt himself. But
how Carson know these personal things?
He'll be back.
That's his guy.
Because there was an article. Oh, of course, that's my guy. One of my all-time favorites.
You got to check up on people.
Yeah, of course. And so,
Hey, outside of
You got
Shawn,
to check up on people.
outside of
man.
Shawn Porter and Shane Mosley Jr., I don't know what the hell's going on with it.
but so at Resorts World last night, they had some of the young guys back in there. Duke Reagan gets a win, and then opening Carlos Balderas had a win. And then an interesting fight with Blue Nose Lopez, Adam Blue Nose Lopez. He got dropped a couple of times. I'm not so sure he won the fight, but he won pretty wide.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
And you said he got dropped a few times?
Yeah, he got dropped a couple times. He got dropped.
Not in the same round, right?
No.
Yeah, be
Couple
specific.
different
How
rounds.
many times?
But I think it was a 10-round fight, and he got dropped at least twice.
Oh, okay.
So that's 2-10-8.
Yeah,
That's a spread, though.
And
You
it
still got time, though.
Yeah, it was. I'm not so sure about that decision. And the guy he fought Abraham Nova last year, so I was vaguely familiar with him.
Okay.
But and then going into the main card was opened up by 2020 Olympian Delonte Tiger Johnson, Cleveland's own. Looked great. Fought a string bean looking dude.
Yeah.
Kind of gangly guy.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, got a couple early knockdowns. I think he'll end up, they mentioned on the broadcast, and you and I agree, I think he'll end up at 140, and I think that'd be good for him.
he looks good.
Yeah.
I know he's not in the ring with the top competitor or anything like that, but
You can still see. you can still see it.
I'm very. When I watch fighters, when I watch sports and when I watch anything, I'm always reading like beyond what's there. You know what I mean? So even like the little subtle moves, when he goes this way, I saw the dipping action. He was able to roll off of some shots. Guys usually they find this is my defense, and it's a lot of guys. Their defense is just this. You know what I mean?
Pull straight back.
Then you got guys that will roll. You know what I mean? And going back to Charlo's defense the other night when he fought Castaño, he used defense with his feet. He rolled off of some shot. Like he had a wide repertoire of things that he wanted to do to be defensive. And to see a young guy like a Tiger, of course, I know where he comes from. So I get while I'm seeing all of this, but to see him use all of it and use it all and be patient. And I mean, just there were some small, subtle things that I was noticing about him. And I say, give him some time.
Yeah,
he's going to be there.
Passes the eye test.
Yeah.
So my one question, and it's just kind of a funny one. So Tim Bradley. He has never watched a fight where he didn't think more body punching.
We need to get him on here.
Well, I always think jabbing is the answer.
Yeah. And I lean more to, of course. And let me preface: Tim Bradley knows more about boxing than I'll ever know by exponential amounts. But
that's true.
Every single fight, he's always throw more body punching, do more body punching. So what is if you could just sum up, what is the main importance of body punching in a fight?
I think body punching is more. It's more necessary for a 8-round, 10-round, 12-round fight. And you never know how it's happening or when it's happening. But when you go to the body, it's like they say, it's like you're pulling something from a person when you go to the body. You're in the body, or a lot of people say you're investing in you're putting rounds and investments. Yeah.
Chopping away at the tree.
Yeah. And of course,
water
we
in the
all
basement.
know,
There's about 50 different.
we all know what happens when you make the investments early in a fight. Later, it's you got more there, and you've taken more from your fighter, and he's not as strong in the later rounds. So, when Tim is saying more body punching, I like to see more body punching. Was that Tiger's fight or just fight?
Any fight. I've never watched a fight where Tim Bradley didn't suggest more body punching.
You gotta mix it up.
He was a doctor. His prescription more body punching.
Was he a body snatcher?
My dad was ibuprofen.
He was
everything.
Tim was a worker. So
Yeah,
I feel like he was a grinder. So I feel like he was a body puncher.
Yeah.
But like a lot of it is if somebody's hurt and they don't have their legs, Tim's like, forget about the head, work the body. If somebody does have their legs, work the body.
And I worked behind my jab. I double, tripled my jab. And so a lot of times that's always the answer for me is to go back to the basics, go back to the jab. When Tim is saying go to the body though, you also gotta understand that you gotta mix it up. Yeah. It can't just be head. Even if it's working, You go to the body not sometimes not even to hurt the guy, but just to get the guy to bring his tension down and open up the head. So when Tim is saying go to the body, I think that's a little bit of that personal. You know what I mean?
I just expected Tim in my mind. He has like a notepad and just has body punch, and then just like points to it. He's like circling it.
Yeah,
body punch. That's what I need to do. But so Tiger Johnson gets the early stoppage win, and then co-main Jermaine Ortiz and Jamel Herring. It was tough to watch. Not that it was a huge knockout. He didn't get knocked out. He goes the distance, and not that it was like some gruesome, beat down or anything like that. You can just tell when
it's here, Carson.
Yeah, but
it's not here. It's
and that's how he explained it.
You explained it one time.
Or is it here?
It's there too, for sure.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Of course. But it's not here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this has to connect to the physical.
It just won't do.
Yeah.
You explained it one time.
And he just kept saying afterwards, he was just like, I wasn't quick enough. I wasn't quick enough. He was quicker to the punch. It was just like, and again, there's not many other than maybe Chris Colbert that aren't huge Jamel Herring fans.
Yeah.
And so I think everyone, it was just tough to see. Great. It's just there's such a guy you always root for, and it just, you're like, come on, Jamel, you got this, man.
And the second half of the fight, it looked real bad.
Yeah.
It just
connected to the dude. You know what I mean? Like we're connected to him beyond in the ring.
Yeah.
And we always salute the troops. We always say thank you for your service, and the list goes on. We don't always get to be in front of a vet to thank them for their service. Mm-hmm. We've seen this vet, like so many times, and so it's like the connection to him.
Yeah.
And then you see his personality. It's like the connection is just different than it is for a lot of other fighters. Yeah. And so I think that's why you're like, damn, like the letdown. Yeah. It hurts a little bit more, or it hits a little different.
And I just, and we always talk about every week we retire somebody, and after the
he
Shakur
came back
fight,
and he brought someone with him.
after the Shakur fight, I was just like, that's a good one. Like, it was a tough loss. Like,
yeah.
And Jamel also has proven to be a really good up and coming broadcaster.
Yeah,
much like yourself.
Yeah,
Gunline boss. One of the better signature lines I've heard on a call.
Gunline boss.
Yeah.
Okay.
He and so I think I was just like, okay, like you lost to the young lion, whatever. Like, I think this probably time, and he comes back and in the ring, and it was tough. Mark Kriegel, who's very respectful and is a passionate guy himself.
Yeah.
It felt like he was hurt to have to ask Jamel. And Jamel was like, I don't know. Like, I got to think about it.
I didn't feel nothing until Mark started talking about it to make me cry. I was like, come on, what?
It honestly felt like both.
That's why they brought him.
Yeah.
That's why he's there.
It felt like both of them were like very emotional in that moment. And then Jamel's talking about, everything he was doing. He was flying home. His daughter's graduation was today. So he's going to take the red eye.
Congratulations.
Absolutely. Yeah. But he, and then tweets afterwards, he was like, I think that's going to be it. So, congratulations. Great career. A lot of people, I think, and I think Jamel might even agree, a lot of people thought he overachieved. That he was always a really good fighter, Olympian.
Yeah. That's
and then
actually where my head just went right now.
He maximized everything he had.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Overachieved, 110%.
Yeah.
Based on how he came into boxing, when he came into boxing, for him to make it as far as he made it, it takes a special individual to be a fighter. It takes a special individual to be a fighter at the elite level, and it takes an extremely special individual to stay there. Yeah. And while he did not, for the sake of work, stay there, he definitely was special enough to get there.
Absolutely.
Where, again, like I always say about myself, I remember being at weigh-ins with guys. I just talked about Alan Lawrence. Al started boxing when I started boxing, and his dreams, everything that he wanted to accomplish in boxing, he never was able to get there, and I was able to do it. Yeah. Jamel was the same way, where he fought in the trials against guys that I'm only here so that I can get there and become everything in the sport, and they weren't able to make it, and he did. So you just have to salute a gentleman like that, who's able to, like you just said, maximize what he can do. And realize a lot of dreams that some others aren't able to. And
his impact in general goes just miles beyond just in the ring. Served our country multiple tours, has dealt with what he's dealt with outside the ring. Like I said, like, great commentary. I think he's going to do great things.
He done two things that a lot of people can't do.
Yep.
Two careers.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. So shout out to Jamel.
Hey, shout out to my man Ortiz. Asking what he want to do next. He ain't calling nobody at 135.
Out a whole division.
My man said I'm going to 140. What about Shakir? What about Loma?
He's good.
He good?
Pass.
Did he struggle to make weight?
I don't know. He didn't seem overly pleased with his performance yesterday.
Yeah.
He seemed like he
was awkward.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if that's who he is.
And Kriegel was like you got the win, and he was like, yeah, I could have been better, but and then the main event, boogeyman of boxing was what all I heard yesterday. Everyone's terrified of this guy, Janibek.
You gotta promote, but you gotta figure out the best way to promote.
Hey, and when you promote, you better live up to Carson because he ain't.
I to be fair, I understand the job of the promoter. I understand the job of a television network. I get
building
it.
a fighter.
Yeah, I get that's what you're there. That's literally what you're there for. But at some point, and I think we've mentioned it with Lomachenko a little bit, where, as you guys know, I'm a huge Lomachenko fan, but the push and the agenda of Lomachenko, that's what turns people off to him. People are like, okay, he's not as good as you're saying he is. So Janibek fights yesterday. It was for Demetrius Andrade's technically vacant belt, but he might come back. He's probably staying at 60. But,
you know anything?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually, since we recorded, he had a shoulder injury, so he had to pull out of his fight with Zach Parker at 168.
He was supposed to be in Connecticut doing this speaking engagement with me. And hurt himself, so
yeah. But and Janibek, he is good. He's a really good young fighter. Clearly has power based on laying that guy out with an uppercut yesterday, and just landing some big shots overall. But this uppercut is coming. He sees this guy leaning forward and was like, "All right, you can keep your head there, but
night."
Yeah,
my man's eyes are closed.
You want to go night?
Yeah, he put him out, but he is he's an explosive guy. He actually has a funny. I wouldn't call
Can you
it.
do that, Ant?
I wouldn't call it a beef.
Hey, I put the pause on people.
So he had.
Pause on
So
people.
I don't know if you guys. So he has when Triple G was at his prime.
Triple G.
Mexican style was his thing.
Yeah.
Mexican style. Janibek seemed to be actually a little bit offended by that. So that's why he goes by Kazakh style, because he thought by Triple G saying Mexican style, he's like, hey.
I always felt like that.
Our
taking
country,
away from our people.
Yeah, like our country has a
I
style.
always felt like that.
Yeah.
Even when people would tell me that, you fight like a Mexican. I said, no, I fight like Showtime Shawn Porter. Yeah.
Somebody said that to you?
All the time.
Yeah.
And there's and I don't take disrespect to it.
Yeah,
That's what they're
and it's meant as a compliment.
Yeah, and it's meant as a compliment.
Yeah.
And that's what the Mexican Latino that's what their heritage is.
Yeah.
They want to see you come forward. They want to see you fight hard. It's crazy. De La Hoya was not accepted by the Mexican
fan base.
Mexico
Yeah,
for a
that's
long
true.
time.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
So much so that I was doing Triller in LA the other day, and we were talking. I was talking to a Mexican about. I said, you guys had it was a long time before Oscar. He said we still don't. I was like, damn, all this time.
Yeah, in high school, I went to the Vargas, Fernando Vargas, Oscar De La Hoya, a fight party. I was the only black person there. It was all Mexicans, and they all was going for Fernando.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah, and it was
And Fernando had more of that Mexican
in
style.
Triple G. I mean, they leaned into that 100%. We actually both were at a fight at the Forum, and they're selling Mexican style shirts
that's
with Triple
crazy.
G's logo.
Yep.
Triple G also, to be fair.
there you go.
Well, no, and this isn't even a knock on him, because again, this is what he was supposed to do. He was built into this thing. So they're the Mexican style, and they're playing these videos throughout the fight, and it's Mexican style. It's Triple G, and we're in California, and so shout out to my cousin Drew, who seems to get a lot of mentions on here. But
Only by you.
he was like, man, he was like, this dude, like he's pandering. He's gonna come out to like California Love or something. So we laugh, whatever. They announce him. California Love. I was like, unbelievable.
The old version or the new version?
No, the old version.
Triple G came out to California.
Triple G came out to California.
Wow, man.
But so back to Janibek. So Janibek seemed to take offense to that. Like, why are you saying Mexican style? Like, we have our own style.
Give us our credit.
Give us the credit. And he's a hard puncher. He is not, though. He's not a boogie. I'm sorry.
Carson, let's get back to it.
Let's get back to it because
he's not Triple G. You gotta be for you to be a boogeyman. You gotta be Triple G-ish.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And again, he's a good fighter. He's still a young fighter. And do I think some fighters probably wouldn't choose to fight him? Of course, he's a hard hitter.
Yeah.
But he's not like, I saw him fight live on the undercard of you and Bud against Hassan and Dom, and like Hassan and Dom was at some points he was like you were just waiting for him to knock him out, and he didn't. The ref ends up stepping in and stopping it, but he's just not like a huge devastating puncher. And Buddy McGirt, who's his trainer, was saying, I don't think there's a guy at 160 that can beat him. I think there's a couple guys at 160 that can beat him, matter of fact. But we'll see what he does. And there was, in his defense, for this mandatory, for the vacant title, there were some guys that seemed like they passed on it. But a lot of times, that's a business decision. You're not scared of him as a fighter. You're just like, probably not going to make a lot of money doing this. But he gets the win. We'll see what he does next.
Step all over Top Rank and ESPN and their promotional tactics. Their promotional tactics for Janibek.
Yeah.
Janibek.
Hey, that title doesn't get a lot of respect. Demetrius, nobody wanted it when Demetrius had it.
The WB, is it what? I don't know. I don't
Carson,
get it.
what is it? WBA?
I think WBO.
It's WBO, but I'm saying like I don't know why.
But it's like no one wants that title.
And I believe he mentioned Charlo after the fight. Like he would like to see Charlo. I think Charlo beats you at this point.
I just think it's who's there with the belt.
Yeah, of course.
Because it was Boo Boo, and it wasn't that nobody wanted the belt. They just didn't want to fight Boo Boo,
right?
Or they were saying that the fight couldn't be made with Boo Boo, and the list goes on.
Promotional things, business of boxing, but I don't know what he'll do next. I would like to see him continue to get tested against some guys at 60. I do think
this was no test.
no, this was not a test. That was a bit of a mismatch there. But moving on to Showtime, opening fight. Luis Nunez and Fierro.
I enjoyed that fight. Let me tell you.
They were throwing, man.
Let me tell you, I enjoyed that fight.
Going to tell me.
Yeah, tell us about it.
I just felt like those guys, they put them in the ring with each other too early. I mean, they still, one guy's 18, one guy's 22. The guy with a little bit of more experience won the fight. I feel like Fierro was over-aggressive. And my man, Luis Nunez.
Throwing himself off balance.
Yep. He countered the hell out of him all night. Hurt him a few times, but they still young. He got the unanimous decision, but still young. I could see him being world champions down the road.
Fierro's got some shit to him.
Yeah,
even though he lost, he was Mexican.
Okay,
so he was Mexican.
He goes for the kill, Carson.
Yeah, and then Nunez is Dominican, but Fierro's got some stuff you can build on because he's an exciting fighter. Holding I think frustrates me when it's because they're off balance. Like if you're gonna tie somebody up, I'm like, okay, that's fine, it's tactical. But like if I throw a huge punch and I'm off balance and I just grab you,
so I wouldn't fall.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, that's a little much. But it was a really good. I think it maybe exceeded expectations as the opening fight. People were just like, okay, two young guys, and they got in there, set the tone.
You have good matchmaking because that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and I actually mentioned on Twitter that was kind of the logic of Ring City.
Yep,
was guys, two young guys. Fighters. Somebody else, my guy in VO said Showbox.
Damn it, Ring City, come back. I need some work.
Yeah, both of those guys were undefeated last night, correct?
Yeah.
So
same thing with Showbox. They always do a good job of putting these young guys in there. What did you think? Any overall takeaways?
No, I mean both those guys just in there throwing.
Yeah, that's a very good description of that.
Both those guys just in there throwing.
Yeah,
I mean, Andre Rozier had Luis
Nunez.
Ready.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, that's to your point. You got two young guys undefeated. For an opening fight, it's so hard to get that consistently. People want that consistently, but what people don't understand is the longevity from a boxing standpoint, and then also from a business standpoint. It's not there. Like neither guy really got hurt last night, and neither guy neither guy hurt his career last night by taking the guy that
wasn't
lost.
A loss.
It's a lot of like Shawn Porter losses. Your losses are not your loss is not the same as other people.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
It's like you never have to take so many damn steps back.
Right.
And again, if you look at, and there's always a guy on a fight card where you look at their record and maybe you think for a second that they're undefeated, then you're like, where'd that loss come from? I remember losing.
You gotta go
and then
look.
you scroll and you're like going through box rec. And
that's how it's gonna be.
In
Canelo, Canelo's got 2 draws, and you gotta go through because you're like, when did he get a draw?
Again, Fierro, I have no clue what his ceiling ends up being, but he could be one of those guys where 5 years from now,
18 years old,
where's
Carson?
this loss at? And you're like, oh, okay, it was back then. But he Yeah, both exciting guys. Co-main, if Shawn Porter ever predicts an early stoppage in a fight, just buckle up. It's going to be a full fight.
Hey,
Full fight.
Hey, dude was a Cuban.
Yeah, Yoelvis. La Hoya. Not impressed?
Not the Cuban style. I'm impressed with it.
Okay.
You show me.
Yeah. Yoelvis.
I was like, how is he still in the ring with this dude? I don't know, man.
Hey, Coda's a veteran.
Yeah.
Hey, Coda is the creative player on the first player you fight on the video games in a boxer. He looks like nothing.
And he's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Because you're like, man, why can't I get you out of there? To be fair, in context, like Yoelvis Gomez, he shut out Jorge Coda in your sixth fight.
Yeah.
So like, not the worst thing. I think he was maybe pressing a little bit early to get the knockout. And then it seemed like partway through, he said, okay, maybe I'm not going to knock you out. And it was a little bit more tactical, but I'm still 100% on. I'm on board. I'm not, didn't get me off the hype train.
What y'all thinking next? Lubin, one of Ramos, Hurt?
Because they like to fast track the Cubans. They like to fast track a lot of the.
He's ranked 6th in the WBC, but he's not ready.
Yeah.
He's not ready.
I'm not even sure if I would say Lubin or Hurd yet.
Really?
Maybe Hurd.
I could see him beating both those guys.
Hurd.
What about the Ramos?
I could see him beating most of them. But I'm just not sure if that's like where you immediately go to for him.
So you got to stay at this level?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think of if there's a name that comes to mind. Like he fights this weekend. Like Luis Arias. It's probably a good fight in my opinion.
Hey, Luis won Tony.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I'm sure after he fights this weekend.
Hey, shout out to Tony, man. I ain't got no problem.
Absolutely. But yeah, no, I think Yoelvis is still a pretty explosive guy. Coda's just tough. Like, he's a veteran. Been around. Been in there with
knows
great
how to
fighters.
survive.
And that's why I'm predict fights.
Yeah.
What Sean said early stoppage?
He scoffed in the last. Because here's what I did, and I legitimately thought Jorge Coda. I said veteran. Sean said 3 rounds.
He did.
Yeah.
I'm watching shit. I started scrolling through like, damn, this fight is still on.
Yeah, he said 3 rounds.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a good win. He's got obviously Ismael Salas in his corner, which is always a good sign for you. And then main event, David Benavidez versus David Lemieux.
Hey, Michael Myers of 168.
So my mom sits down. Shout out, my mom's in town.
Yeah.
My mom sits down. She says, who's this fighting tonight? And I told her. She says, okay, I think I seen him fight. I said, yeah, you saw him when I fought Errol Spence.
Yeah, he fought.
She said, oh yeah, I remember him. And then David Lemieux, excuse me. David Lemieux's getting in the ring. And my mom says, he gonna fight him? I said, it ain't gonna last long. She said, what you mean it's not gonna last long? I said, Mom, it's not gonna last long. I said, yeah, they're gonna fight, but it's not gonna last long. And this one went the way I thought it was gonna go.
Yeah.
This is the way
you thought Yoelvis was
gonna go. So.
Yeah. I don't know how many uppercuts he threw in that little sequence there.
That's the end of the first. Oh.
He's a my man knows how to tap into the entertainment side of this very quickly.
Yeah.
There's
no need for him to throw 7 or 8 uppercuts.
I was liking
that's pure entertainment right there. You know what I mean?
Somebody said he landed a Tekken combo on him.
Hey, them fists. Yeah. I ain't even gonna do it this week because y'all gonna try to play me.
He runs his hand. He shouldn't have as fast of hands as he does.
Hey,
what?
Hey, if he gonna edit it in,
because he is like he obviously has power, and I think he just, as Italo always mentions, is like the thudding power, like just having heavy hands. Mm-hmm. And I think he has that, but also he's ripping these 10-punch combinations, and it's like, David Lemieux. Oof.
Hey. Shout out to he lasted
absolutely
way longer than I thought.
Yeah.
What was it? 3 rounds?
Yeah.
Was it 3?
It was 3 rounds of my life.
I thought it was 2.
No, he made
it was 3. It was 3.
He made it 3. Because I'm like, ref, stop this.
After the second round, I said, he made it.
Yeah. David
looked at my mama, just one more round, mama.
He is something. David is something else.
Michael Myers on 168. The Mexican monster. I think he cleans up Plant and Charlo, stops them all in within 10.
Dang.
Plant just don't got the power to keep him off of him. Charlo hasn't competed at the level of competition. Remember I said this about Caleb Plant? Yeah. Charlo's fighting a bunch of bums. This big Charlo fighting a bunch of bums like Caleb used to fight. And I just feel like you can't go from fighting bums to fighting David Benavidez.
Yeah.
So I will agree that I think he stops Caleb. I will agree with that. Because he doesn't have the power to keep him off him. And as we saw yesterday, and David Lemieux is a big puncher. Obviously, he's typically 160.
The reason why I call him Michael Myers, because he's just stalking.
Yeah.
It's like, get off me.
But with Charlo, David, even in these big wins and even these dominant wins he has, he gets hit a little bit.
Oh, he took a big shot yesterday.
Yeah, and Charlo, he hits you with a shot. It's a shot. Like, that's not just...
I know we haven't talked about him yet, but that's why I'm not convinced about Canelo. I think that...
Canelo the fighter?
Oh, what the hell?
What you said yesterday about giving Canelo hell.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
what you said about giving Canelo hell.
He ain't fought enough for the...
I was like, dang, he loses the Beaver.
Yeah, I
and
was
Sean's
like,
not
dang,
sold on
Sean,
it
you
anymore.
wild.
Out the window.
Hey, Sean be like, Canelo's overrated.
Yeah.
Carson was
I meant because what you said yesterday.
okay in the text.
I think that he beats Charlo. I think that a fight with Caleb Plant is very competitive.
In a fun style matchup.
It's a fun style matchup, which is why I actually cannot pick a winner out of that because
build up will be wild disrespectful too.
both fights.
and then
Carson.
actually. And then if you go back and you take a look at what Caleb Plant has now gone through, I think it makes him better against Benavidez now.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So that's why I'm hard to say. It's hard for me to believe seeing. It's kind of like Canelo. Like it was hard for me to believe he was going to lose to Bivol, but I was like, Bivol could pull it off. Yeah. And then it ends up happening. Canelo versus Benavidez, because Benavidez gets hit and because Benavidez will go to a style of just standing here and blocking. Yeah. Are you going to be able to hold up to that the way Bivol did? You know what I mean? So I still you say he's a nightmare. He's a monster. He's a hell of a night for Canelo to get through everything that Benavidez can bring. Yeah. Right now, I'm still not sure.
Yeah. It's the speed and the power.
I always picked him to beat Canelo. That was always my guy 168 to beat Canelo.
And it seemed like his promoter, Sampson, afterwards seemed to lean towards either Plant or Charlo or my guy, David Morrell.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's too soon for Morrell.
Maybe too late.
But at this point, what?
Why that made me nervous? Why that made me nervous? The first two didn't make me nervous.
What?
But the last one did.
Why? How does that one make you nervous?
I don't know why.
What's he getting 7-0 now?
I don't care.
He's a champion.
Yeah.
I think he'll get stopped late, but he'll gonna give him hell while he's in there.
Yeah.
You go back to what we said. If there is, again, we're nitpicking on a David Benavidez weakness at this point against some of the guys he's fought and in the fights he's fought. But like, if he gets hit with shots, like David Morrell's a huge puncher. So it would be a fun matchup.
He's shown he's a huge puncher against the competition.
Of course.
Yeah.
At the same time, did that beating Plant took at the end of the Canelo, did that take something off his career? Because he took a beating.
Did he take a beat?
He took big shots.
I remember. I was looking through one eye, man. That's my dude.
Yeah.
I was looking through one eye.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Just in my opinion.
I tell you what, they call him sweet hands. He better be sweet legs in that fight. And shout out to Coach Wade, because he got to work overtime.
Yeah. I don't know. That wasn't a fight where afterwards I was like, I'm not sure he's going to be the same. I think it was a big knockout, but I don't think that
it was a thump.
Yeah, I don't think that's one that's going to take him out of where he's at.
What would you guys rather, Plant or Charlo?
Plant.
I'm going Charlo.
Plant. That actually is probably
both. Either.
You're right.
And even, I mean, for me, I'm a huge David Morrell fan. I'd love to see him in there with David Morrell.
You guys in the comments, what would you like?
Yeah,
Charlo, Plant?
who are you picking?
David Morrell.
Yeah.
I would, if we had it that way, and of course, if Benavidez was successful in those, I would want Morrell to be last.
Okay.
Out of those,
Understand.
out of those three.
The build up with there are times where we talk about fights where we're like, yeah, there seems to be some bad blood, and they hate each other. Yeah. Benavidez and Plant hate each other. Benavidez said I would fight him in the parking lot, the best women's boxing show. Shout out to Jay and Cynthia, but he was on there. He was like, I'll fight him anywhere.
Where does that come from?
So there
was a gym issue.
Yeah, there's claims from both sides. Caleb said they said things about his daughter, of course, that passed. They denied that was ever said. Benavidez just doesn't seem to like him,
because it seemed like it went from Jose Benavidez to now, or not now, but from it went from Jose to then now the problem
Jose's a little instigator. Let's be real here. He's like, I'll go get my little brother. Okay? Keep talking.
and Jose was,
And I'll beat up Shawn Porter.
Jose was,
Oh yeah, he was tripping, wasn't he?
I'm pretty sure he also said he would fight both Charlos in an interview I saw with Zytel. Shout out to FightHub.com.
Shout out to Fight Hype.
Did
He tripping.
Where is Zytel?
In Arizona.
Yeah, he's out in Arizona. What his brother? What Jose was supposed to be the guy, wasn't he? Wasn't Jose like?
Yeah, he was.
He was supposed to be like the one
Yeah, he
of
was
the
the
two of
one.
them, even maybe. But
Injuries.
yeah, and he also did he get shot? Jose Benavidez, like when he was coming up, like I think he actually got shot too.
Yeah,
So,
he did.
He definitely went through some stuff, but
50 got shot and became the world's biggest.
I was gonna say I'm not
I
sure.
mean, 50's been hit with a few shells. He walks with a limp. But the yeah, I don't know. I think Benavidez against any of those guys would be great. But the plan
He don't walk with a limp.
that was 57. 57 himself. Hit with a few shells.
I started thinking, I'm like, I never seen him limp.
Or does he say? Wait.
I walk with a limp like pimps do.
Maybe
Or
you'll
wait,
see
wait.
him in New York.
Or wait. Now I'm thinking, is the bar been hit with a few shells, but I don't walk with a limp?
No, I walk with a limp like pimps do.
but I don't walk with a limp.
Yeah, I don't
Y'all
know.
got something for
Yeah,
us?
but I don't walk with a limp.
Rap.
Yeah.
Is it? I don't
Yeah,
walk.
yeah.
Oh, I don't walk with a limp?
We'll have to go
Okay.
to rap.
Hit with
We'll
a
have to
feel
go
shills,
with.
but I don't walk with a limp.
We'll have to go with Rap Genius.
Okay.
Rap Genius on this one.
Hey, call 50. Tell him coming out there.
Yeah, and ask him to clarify. But the
I ain't introducing you to 50, man.
I'm not. I don't even.
Is that bad? Like
Hey,
I thought about it. I looked at him,
Hey,
and then some said, "No, don't
Come
do
on.
it."
Do I be embarrassing you? I keep it
Nah, you
together.
don't.
No,
I
you
keep
don't.
it together.
Yeah, you don't.
But yeah, no. Outside of that, again, Plant is my number one, just because the build up would be crazy, fun style matchup. Charlo not incredibly far behind.
Yeah.
because again, build up
Hey,
would be great.
Carson, beat one, then fight the other.
Yeah, I'm down for it. And kudos to David Benavidez. He sold the hell out of that place yesterday.
Yeah.
It looked like a packed
Hell
house.
yeah.
Crowd was rocking. Yeah, and they got a nice little stable there, obviously with Rayo as well, Valenzuela.
Hey, so when she was watching the fight, and then I was like, yeah, it's hometown. My lady said, Shawn never got to fight his hometown like this.
Yeah, he did.
No, like that.
No, not like that.
You guys weren't.
but
You
that's-
guys,
that's
you guys
just-
weren't in the Wolstein Center that night when he tagged Russell Jordan. The place was going crazy.
That's like his fourth or fifth fight back home. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
why
It's-
would she say that? I
it's
think
an
of
Omaha
Carson. I'm like,
effect.
Carson gotta reply for her.
Oh,
I wish she was here right
I
now.
was there, man. I was there in the Wolstein Center when Shawn fought Russell Jordan.
Hey, if you would
It
ever
was
fight at
state.
home, what would you fight?
The dream was to fight at the gun, then the Q, and now
Now
it's
it's
like,
Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse.
Yeah,
That's LeBron's house?
nah.
That's one way of looking at it, I suppose.
You know what I'm talking about.
There's a banner hanging up in there, but
Used to be.
yeah, but no, it'll be fun to see. That November, I think, is what they were targeting.
Yeah,
Wanna be
that's
back.
what I heard. Yeah.
So
Man,
I wouldn't hate it if it was a little bit sooner. My humble opinion, but I'm
Carson-
also a
hey,
fat guy that
Carson.
doesn't box. So
I would love that to be here so we can go to the press conference.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Carson's all about
Yeah,
the nonsense.
I'll yell some stuff there, fire some stuff up. But
I'll be wherever it's at. The Porterway Park.
Oh, yeah. By then,
I actually like Arizona too. You might convince me to get out there.
You
you
go
convinced
there.
me.
you can't have that in Arizona. That's too big
like-
for Arizona.
Think
Yeah,
so?
yeah, that doesn't happen in
Yeah,
Arizona.
I would be down to
Like,
get out there though. But
3 states that I could get Carson to go to.
That's
for the Porterway.
crazy.
Yeah.
and they're
You
all
go to
nearby.
Utah? You go to Utah?
If,
No.
if there's ever, I've never been to Utah.
Oh, I've been to Utah.
Yeah, I've never been there.
Shout out to Zion Wildflower Resort.
Yeah.
Nice place. Take your ladies. Have a good time.
Go.
All right, y'all. We got a guest today. I would say she's a fan of the show, now a friend of the show.
Absolutely.
Much more than a pretty face. She can throw them hands.
A world champion.
IBF.
Won the IBF Bantamweight Championship back in March. Welcome to the Porterway Podcast. The blonde bomber, Ebanie Bridges.
And she'll beat your wife's ass.
Oh, dang.
I'll beat your ass.
I want no problems.
I'm 100% picking Ebony to beat the dog shit out of Ant.
Oh,
No
yeah.
question.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm 6'4". She'll break me down.
Terrible. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me on.
It is mad early over there, is it not?
I'm well. I'm very well. It's a little. I was about to say it's very early. I mean, it's not too bad, to be fair. It's not too bad. It could have been worse. I think it's a bit early because I was up all night watching the football, the soccer. So,
How did your team play?
Yeah, Leeds survived.
oh, why is it? We survived. Yes, we did. We did well. Got a goal, last minute goal at the end. and we won. We got a penalty and last minute goal at the end, which was just epic and unreal. So very, very happy.
Ebanie, I got a question for you. My question is, you have become a world champion back in March. Wow, it's now almost June. Enough time to enjoy being a champion. How has it been becoming a professional boxing world champion?
Oh, incredible. Obviously, becoming a world champion is a dream come true for pretty much any boxer. So to be able to achieve that and be able to put my name in the history books, is great, as well as, obviously being an Australian female world champion is a really proud moment for me for Australia, because we don't have many Australian world champions. So that's unreal for me. And it's just been great, coming back to Australia, showing all my friends and my family and everyone that's been around from the beginning, my belt. It's been pretty amazing. It's been a crazy journey. But to have that belt, it really does just signify everything, all the sacrifices and all the hard work and tears and everything. It feels great.
And now that you've been the champion, you mentioned you seem to be a name that people like to call out. Ellie Scotney yesterday after the fight. Ebanie Bridges was one of the first names.
Yes.
What do you think about the call
always. I mean, it's just another one that happened last week, the week before, every weekend, every day. I've been getting called out for a while before I became a champion, but now that I'm a champion, it's a bit more just because of obviously the exposure and the platform that I have. Everyone wants a piece of it. I'm not dumb. I know exactly what it's about. It's fine. Like you seen, I tweeted yesterday. I was a little bit, here's another call out. I am getting a bit bored of it. I mean, it's like as soon as they finish the fight, before they've even gone over to the corner, Ellie screaming my name out. And the same thing happened to a couple of girls here in Australia. They're not even in my weight division. And I'm just like, okay, well, you do realize I'm firstly a bantamweight and I want to unify. So it's like, you can call me out as much as you want, but you got to come down to bantam or you got to come up to bantam because, the only people that are really calling me out that I'm not laughing about, but not that I'm just like, whatever, mate, is obviously the champions of the division, Dinah Thorslin and Jamie Mitchell, So anyone that's not in my division, I've had featherweights want to fight me.
Well, Ebanie, what are they calling you out because they're underestimating you, or do you feel that people look at you and feel like you don't have what it takes to beat them, and they think that you're an easy win?
Oh, it's a bit of everything, to be honest. I think, I don't know why people, what it's like, Shawn, people always estimate you, no matter how good you do. They're always gonna pick on you and always gonna say that you're not better and you're this and that. And they don't realize until they get in the ring with you how much of a handful you are, and that's the same with me, and I'm only getting better. And I think, it's that some of these girls, they might think it's easy, but they also look at it as they want to dethrone, or try and dethrone. They know if they were to beat me, whether or not they believe they can, they know if they have a chance and they were to beat me, then it's huge for them because of my name and my platform and everything that I've built. I have 2-1, girls that have had 2 fights calling me out. I don't know, you know what it's like, but it's I think it's a bit of a mixture of everything. I think people just want to fight me because it comes with everything. I bring them everything. I bring them exposure. I bring them money. I bring them, an opportunity to maybe beat someone that, they think that they can make a huge name from because of my name. Mm-hmm. I don't believe they beat me. I believe I become, unified, and I truly believe I'll be undisputed. Mm-hmm. And I said that about being a world champion and absolutely everything that I've done. I've said it, every goal that I've set, I'm going to do, and I've done it. So that has come out of, those words have come out of my mouth. I've manifested them now. And I truly believe that I can unify and become undisputed.
Very good.
Because everything that I've said, everything I said I'm going to do, I've done. Said I was going to fight in America. I was, in a year, fought in America after my pro debut. Said I was going to fight in the UK. In a year, I fight in the UK, and I got a bigger fan base than all the women in the UK besides Katie Taylor. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's when I say I'm going to do something, it happens, So you mark my words, a year or two, 2024, that's where I'm at with them belts, baby.
Hey, Ebanie, as I watch you, that work rate is very Shawn Porter like. Where you get that work rate from, girl? You get in the ring and go to work.
Yeah. I think I watched a lot of Shawn Porter when I'm a big fan of Shawn. I always have been a fan of him. And when I was in the amateurs, I remember I used to literally watch Shawn's fights before my fights, and everyone used to, because I used to come out like a terror. Yeah. I was a terror. Everyone used to call me a Tassie devil, you know, like a Tasmanian devil, come out like a terror. And I watched Shawn's fight because I knew it was a bit like that, but I just loved his style. I like that pressure and just the relentlessness. And it's an exciting fight. And I'm a boxing fan. I've been a boxing fan since I was younger, and I like exciting fights. Like Shawn Porter, I like his fight style. It's exciting, and I want to be exciting for the fans. Of course, I want to be a world champion, but my style is to entertain. I do entertain, not just in the ring. You know, everything that I'm doing is entertaining because I think that's important in boxing. And I feel like that's the reason why I've also kind of blown up, and people tend to gravitate towards me as fans because it's the entertainment business, you know, and plus I just like to fight.
Yeah, I was going to ask,
smash people.
I introduced you as not just pretty, but you can fight. And a lot of people, you know, you carry much more than just a girl that can fight. Like you're pretty, you're blonde, and the list goes on. The question is like, why boxing, and then why take it to the level that you've gotten to?
Hey, I like that second question because I don't usually get that one. That's nice. So, but why boxing? I mean, to be honest, like the honest truth is, I just love fighting. I just like beating on people. Like that's the honest truth. Like I just like punching people. Like I really do, and that's where it came from. I did start martial arts when I was younger, so I've always been around combat sports since I was 5 years old. I did karate for 8 years, and then all through I got my black belt, and then all through my teens I did kickboxing and Muay Thai training, and then obviously fighting on the street and all this kind of stuff. And then I had to like kind of pull my head in and kind of change my path and direction. So I did some bodybuilding, you know, all through my 20s, and then it was just like after I achieved everything in my bodybuilding, it was like, what do I want to do? I want to do something that I love. And boxing, I'm a big fan of boxing. I was a fan of everything, boxing, kickboxing, all of that. And then I was like, you know what, women's boxing's, you might not know this, but women's boxing was illegal in Australia until 2008. I mean, combat sports. So women couldn't fight in Australia until 2008 in most states. There was one state that had a bit of an exception with like modified rules. So it was kind of not like I can't really fight. So that's why I went down a different path. But then I was allowed to fight again. Not allowed again, sorry. Women were allowed to fight. And I was like, well, hey, I love fighting. And, I've been, it's something that I'm really passionate about. And, why not fight and make money and do what I want to do? And I suppose I was never really interested in amateur boxing. I never watched amateur boxing. I was always a pro boxing fan, but I just knew that you had to do that. Not knew, I just was kind of, I don't know, smart enough, or thought, well, I need to practice. I can't just go straight into boxing, into pro boxing. It is a dangerous sport. So that's why I did just 2 years of my amateurs. And I just wanted to I wanted to knock people out, man. Like I wanted to just, hurt people. That's really what it was, and that's why I wanted the headgear off and the small gloves but as it's come on through my career, I think it's now just about challenging myself, and I just want to keep challenging myself, and I'm unfortunately one of those people that are never satisfied for long. So I'll tick a goal off, and then I'm like, okay, now what? Okay, what's next? Like it's not a long satisfaction, So, having my pro debut, great. Yes, having my first fight in America, great. Having my first fight in the UK, great tick. And it's just like, okay, now what? Now what? World champion, great. Next day, okay, now what? So now I'm like, okay, well, now I've got a belt because that's not enough. So it's like, I might as well just set myself and say, I'm going to go undisputed, because I know as much as it's going to be amazing and it's world champion and it's special. And it's even with the being unified, but I just know me, and I just know that I'll just want to keep going until I can't. So.
And you mentioned everyone calling you out. This is your chance on the Portaway podcast. Call somebody out. Who if you could pick your next couple fights, who you just going straight for the champions, and do you have a preference between them?
Yeah, no, I don't have a preference at all. And I've never really called anyone out. I'm not fussed. I just think I beat them all, to be honest. It doesn't matter what order they come in, I'll beat them all, and I believe I take all their belts. So whatever makes sense at the time, and whatever my team choose, because I literally will fight anyone. Like, I don't care. You know, obviously I would like to have the rematch with my mate Shani, but to be fair, I don't want to give her that opportunity because like straight away or anything, because like she's a I'm not going to say it on an American TV, but she's a C. All right, and I and I don't.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Because we have kids
and
that
I
watch
don't.
this,
And
so.
no, you're welcome. I but I'm Australian. I'm thoughtful, but I don't know how else to explain it. Like that's just the word for her. Anyway, so I would like to have that fight eventually, but I'm not going to go, hey, here's my bill. All right, Shannon, you wouldn't give me the fight when you know when we wanted the rematch because it was a controversial win. But now I'm going to go, hey, here, let's have a shot and give her a payday and give her that. You know what it's like. I mean, you know, I got to make people work for it.
They don't know what it's
So,
like.
yeah.
When do we look to see you back in the ring?
Yeah, you know what it's like, Sean.
When do we look to see you back in the ring?
I'm hoping summer. I head over to the UK in like just under 2 weeks. I'm relocating over there because just these trips back and forth to Australia is just slows my momentum, and I over there in the gym and keep moving, you know. So I'm moving over there, and we're hoping to aim for August.
Hey, Ebony, when we gonna get?
I have hinted. Yeah.
When we gonna get Ebony back in the States?
Oh yeah, I was just about to say that. So I have hinted and told Eddie that I would like to fight in the States.
Okay.
I said that I would be happy to fight in the States. Yeah, I might have like nudge, nudge, wink, wink, but get me on the Canelo card.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
but I don't know how good my persuasion is or how willing he is to do that for me. But I would love to obviously fight in America. I would like to fight out of America next or soon. You know, there's a champion, Jamie Mitchell, in America. I'm happy to go to America and fight her there. You know, it doesn't matter. I'll fight all over the place. I'd love to fight in Mexico. I love the Mexicans. You know, I've got a great Mexican fan base. I'd love to go there. I don't know. I want to be worldwide. You know, so I'm happy to fight anywhere and everywhere.
And you being worldwide. Last question for me would be: we have the Kambosos and Haney fight coming up. What? Not breaking down the fight specifically, but what is that atmosphere going to be like there? Obviously, you know, being Australian, what is it going to be crazy?
Tell us the atmosphere and then break down the fight really quick.
Yeah.
Okay. The atmosphere, I think it's going to be pretty incredible because we haven't, obviously the last fight we had here that was like that would have been the Horn fight, Manny Pacquiao versus Jeff Horn, and that was pretty epic. Us here in Australia, we don't have a lot of boxing. It's not huge here, so when there is a big fight like that comes over, it's big. You know, a lot of people will go to that fight. And there'll be a lot of obviously pro George Kambosos fans. You know, they're all going to be backing George. He's got a big following here, and also because he's got a very big Greek following as well, which there's a lot of Greeks in Australia. So I think it's going to be pretty epic, and you know, it's a start of kind of like big fights in Australia because you know no matter which way that fight goes, I think there's going to be more fights down there. So it's really exciting. Nice. And to break down the fight, you know what? I got to be Team George, and it's not only because I'm a countryman. I just really do think that he does have the attributes, and I feel like Haney could possibly be underestimating him, just like Teofimo Lopez did. And I just see George being super fast. He's got great footwork, you know, and he's sharp as well. Obviously, we know Haney. You know, he's accurate, and he is spiteful as well. But I just feel like it's going to be George's speed that could really get to him, and just the combos. He's relentless. He's got really high work rate. Mm-hmm. And you're in Australia. I hate to say it, but you've got to really be pretty decisive. Yeah. You know, you got to be pretty decisive, and I know, like, I don't know the judging. I don't know who's there. I'm assuming it won't be Australian judges. Like, it might be one, but I can't imagine it would be. But it might be. But I don't think so. I don't think so, to be honest. Like, otherwise, you're in trouble. But I'm not going to bullshit because even I might list with the Australian judges and not like.
Go back to sleep.
No, honestly, yeah.
Go back to sleep.
But I'm just being honest. I'm being honest. I'm an honest person. I'm honest. Like, you want honesty, you want me to sit here and bullshit. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. So I think it's a good fight, and I think the travel. I think Haney probably should come a little bit earlier. I think 2 weeks probably isn't enough. I know that flight. I've done it many, many times, and it takes a good 7 to 10 days to get over that long flight. and that jet lag, and it's not easy at all. And I remember going to America. Every time I fly to America for camp, I'll be, 4 weeks out or 5 weeks out. And even then I'm like, Jesus, what happened? Like, it feels like the first day of camp for like the first week, So yeah, I think that could also be could play a role in Haney's performance, but we'll see. Fingers crossed for me, for George.
I am not rooting for George.
I got George.
Yeah, you got him?
I got George.
I'm going Devin.
All right. Well, hey, Ebanie, thank you for getting up and spending a little bit of time on the Porterway podcast. We're glad to finally get you on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we will have you back on much
Thank
sooner
you.
after a good win that you have. Sorry it took so long.
No, that's okay. I appreciate you, boys. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Have
Absolutely.
a good night. Is it still good?
Good day. Good morning.
Have a good day.
Good morning. Have a good morning.
Later.
Oh, yeah.
Peace. Close on Ebanie Bridges. Finally got her on.
Yeah, shout out to Ebony.
Big fan of the podcast.
EB?
Yeah. Big
EB
fan of the
talk that
podcast.
shit.
Yeah, big fan of SP.
And she talked. She's a talkie.
And she definitely
She talk that talk.
she likes talking boxing too, for sure.
She knows the sport.
Yeah, knows the sport, loves the sport, which is cool. But this weekend we got a pay-per-view event coming up. Tank and Rolling.
The press conference let me and Carson down so far. The fight, it'll be over in one.
So I'll all right. We'll get there.
Hey, no. What's funny is why y'all knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Why y'all knew who I picked?
Oh, you assume the
Yeah, no, y'all know y'all.
So let's go through the undercard.
No
briefly.
clue what you're talking about.
I got the fight over in one.
So we have Jesus Ramos is going for family revenge against Lucas Santamaria, who beat Abel Ramos.
Oh yeah,
Last time
I didn't know they made that.
To be fair, I don't think that was the logic, but
Yeah, I know
in my
what you're
mind,
I
it
ain't
is.
mad that Charlo's doing that one day.
Yeah. So I'm liking that. I think Jesus Ramos wins. Jesus Ramos he's a prospect to watch because that dude, he's serious business.
Yeah, he is.
And they're fighting at 54. And then the co-main, someone say was going to steal the show. Arislan Lara, the American Dream.
Carson's guy.
Back in co-main position.
Absolutely. He's a world champion. That's the only time you're ever going to hear me refer to
He's
the
a
WBA
world
champion.
Come on, Carson.
Oh, he's WBA champ right
He's
now?
a WBA regular champion.
At 54?
60.
At 60. Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so he's now at 60.
So he fights Gary O'Sullivan. It's going to be a boxing lesson. As it
Gary,
always
huh?
is.
He's fighting
Yeah.
a Gary
Yeah. He's gonna
O'Sullivan.
O'Sullivan, which his nickname I think is Spike. He used to, I don't know if he still does. He used to have like the wild, like Fu Manchu, like
Oh yeah, coming off.
kind of Hulk Hogan brother.
We watched him once at the house. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if he still has that, but Lara.
What is
either way,
Laura doing?
Just handing boxing lessons out. To
Oh,
whoever wants.
Like
one.
he's coaching on the night of.
yeah.
because I'm like, he's fighting, but he ain't getting in a title position.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't see nobody giving him a shot,
Yeah.
Carson.
Yeah.
Well, it's Charlo, right?
Yeah, and they also had they trained together with Ronnie Shields.
Charlo.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I think he outboxes him. And
He outboxed Charlo?
No. O'Sullivan.
What do you think about Charlo?
I like that fight.
I think
Lara's he's getting up there. We gotta be honest about it.
But I think he might give him hell.
of course, yeah. I don't think anyone's ever fought Lara and thought, man, this is an easy night's
Even
work.
Canelo?
Canelo landed, I think, 7 jabs the entire fight and lost that fight.
Damn.
Yeah, no. So that's the co-main and then main event.
What we all been waiting for.
No. Anthony ends in one.
I got
The fight the fight was announced way back before it got canceled.
Yeah.
I got it.
And
One.
there was
I got
you
it
weren't
one.
you weren't like
I got it. In
No,
one.
I hold Gervonta Davis in the highest possible esteem in boxing. So no, I do not think this was a fight I was incredibly eager for.
didn't know that. Didn't know that.
Rolly is a character.
looking forward to it.
I mean, he's gonna sell it. He is who he is, but I do not think he is on Gervonta Davis.
We started this podcast last year 2020 and started to say like boxing needs this, boxing needs that.
Yeah.
This is what boxing needs. A fight like this. Okay, we understand that the levels are different. There's experience even on the professional level that's much more superior than that of Rolly Romero. But boxing needs this. Boxing needs a big name getting in the ring with somebody that could potentially cause a scare.
Yeah.
And all the while bringing eyes to the event for more reasons than just who's going to get knocked out tonight.
And from what I've seen, ticket sales seem to be going extremely well out there in New York.
I heard they cost a bit. Did you get some? Did you get?
We'll get
just
to
in
that.
case.
We'll get to
we should
that.
probably talk.
We'll get to that.
All right, yeah, we probably should talk.
Yeah, let's talk offline. Just in case.
But I heard ticket sales are going well. There's some decent buzz on it.
Spoke well about me earlier. I mean, I think that if anything,
it seems obvious.
He said he wasn't worried, but you know,
but
look out for me on this one, maybe. Perhaps.
Oh, you didn't even get the tickets yet? Yeah,
I got the tickets. Yeah.
I just think, and again, Rolly's going to do interviews. And he's going to say crazy stuff. Again, I asked him very point blank on the show. I said, I don't think you believe what you say. Yeah. And he said, I believe what I say. So, whatever.
I'm not sold on Rolly.
And the same thing when he came on the show. He said he's going to knock him out in one. I said, you can get your ass knocked out in one.
Yeah.
And he said he said he has real power.
Yeah.
Javante.
And Rolly to be, if we're going to.
They sparred before?
There was an issue.
They talked around it.
Yeah, they didn't spar. And then
they both ducked each other. I don't know.
Yeah.
If anything.
You see at 3:00. I'm leaving.
If anything, that's pretty much what it was.
Yeah. I know how that go. Come on now.
That's real. That's real. That's real shit.
Yeah.
Like you ain't on time. You duck me.
100.
If anything, Rolly is.
I tried to show up late once to the gym and still ended up getting there on time.
You trying to duck somebody?
Demetrius Andre was checking his watch. Like,
you was late that day at 50's gym.
That's funny. But if anything, Rolly is he's big for the weight and he's awkward as hell. So if I actually don't think it'll be that quick of a knockout. I do think Rolly gets knocked out, but I do not think it'll be that quick.
Wow, I got it going early, Carson. It could not be first.
It ain't gonna be early.
I'm going first.
It ain't gonna be early.
Hey, he is gonna try to murder that dude.
Yeah, for sure.
He is gonna.
Yeah,
Tank is gonna try to murder that dude because they're both coming forward.
Yeah, of course.
I got uppercut.
It's gonna be some rounds.
You got it going about.
It's gonna be some rounds.
6?
Tank is very.
I think around there. 4
methodical
to 6.
the way he fights. He's gonna work behind the jab. He's gonna try to set it up while he wants to hurt dude. Mm-hmm. Tank is very smart in the ring. People don't understand that.
Has
about him.
the skills,
and he's got the skills. So he's not going the first round trying to throw an overhand right. I can see him looking for an uppercut. If it's not there, my dude ain't taking no
he's
chances.
Not gonna press on it.
No, he's not gonna press on it.
He's gonna
take his
night.
time. He's gonna take his time. But then the flip side, because you got to talk about both fighters.
Yeah,
Rolly gonna be shaky. He gonna be shaky when that opening bell. He not gonna be the Rolly that we've seen coming at you and all this and that.
Bigger man, better man.
He's gonna be very cautious.
He knows what's in.
He's gonna be cautious through the nervousness of the moment, through that bell finally ringing. I've been there before. Never on the side of being nervous and anxious and things of that nature. But I've seen it in other guys that I fought, and I've seen it in other fighters. I can assure you. Like I said, I hate predicting fights. Yeah. This one is gonna go rounds. Rolly is gonna be shaky in the beginning. Rolly, if given the opportunity, he will settle in, and then once he settles in, he'll be looking for some crazy stuff. Look for Rolly to be very defensive for the first 2 to 3 rounds.
Do you guys feel a lot of nervous energy coming from Rolly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even with all the interviews, everything.
Yes.
He knows he's in there with a mother.
Yeah. When you get somebody that's repeating the same thing they say every single interview, it's because this is only thing I know to say, and this is gonna get me through.
Well, and Tank was
that ain't gonna work
at the press conference. Tank was like, "Yeah, it's all different when we're in person. Like we're face to face." All that.
This dude, I forgot what he said. He cussed something.
Yeah, but he was pretty much like, yeah, he's not like it was all chirping, but now that we're right here, the energy's not the same.
Yeah.
So.
And that's why I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm not sold on Rolly. I still hold on to, I think it was Zytel calling or alluding to the fact that Rolly is somewhat of a Mayorga. Now I'm holding on to that.
Yeah, I know that. Little bit.
I'm holding on to that. And it's something like, yeah, I would make the bet just because of that. But I wouldn't make the bet with confidence that I'm going to get paid.
Let me get y'all some numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know me.
I'm glad I said that. Give me some numbers because I might actually want to do something.
Yeah,
if you look out for me. If you look out.
Oh, you back on that, huh? You back on that again. So in this fight, well, y'all definitely taking
the Rolly on a win.
Yeah.
Tell me
Rolly on a win. $100 will get you 700.
He
So
don't
it's plus
he don't
$600.
outbox Tank. So
Hell no.
Rolly on a knockout. So let's go back. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Rolly on a knockout.
Okay, so since there's no odds for that, Anthony odds. So from Anthony Casino.
Shit ain't gonna count.
Yeah, what kind of monopoly?
about to tune into
What kind of monopoly money ass?
You
bet
put
is
down
this?
100, you win $1,500.
So what does that mean?
Rolly by
okay, so
knockout.
just Rolly on a win.
Is
You bet
plus
100,
600.
you get 700.
Yep, plus 600.
Okay. So I bet 100, I get 600.
Now if you
yeah.
got Tank Davis to win $100, you got to put down 900.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that.
If you want to win 1,000, you got to put 9,000.
I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's easy money though. That's guaranteed 1,000.
If I want to win 1,000,
yeah,
I got to put down 9,000.
yeah, but it's a guaranteed 1,000. But
about?
but you walked in the casino with
see
9,000.
that.
And that's why you always see.
walked
That's why you always see the guys that wouldn't even.
No clue what I'm looking at.
You walked in the casino with 9,000.
Yeah.
You walked out the casino with 10,000.
Well, that's why you always see when these people when people bet on these like crazy things like, oh, they put blah 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 on this favorite to win. I'm like, yeah, if you're willing to make that kind of bet, you have money to burn.
Yeah,
Like,
Look. That's what I'm talking about. Go in there with 9.
Yeah.
You see what you went on the right.
yeah.
So you walked in there with 9. You come out with 10.
No, I'll pass. I'll pass.
Hey, I tried to get Carson to bet on
So
Bevo,
one more time,
and he had been rich.
Rolly on the win. One more time.
Rolling on the win.
Oh my gosh.
Plus 600.
Okay.
Mathematics.
No, I got it.
Most
I
depth.
got it.
Yassine Bey.
I got it.
Which, speaking of New York,
Yeah.
Porterway Podcast will be in the building.
Yes,
and
sir.
In the city.
Yes, sir.
Oh, unanimous Tank by knockout.
Yes.
All right, including Zytel. He said it too.
I don't think he did, but I like it.
I could see him saying some craziness.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
He's been known. He's been known to be a little crazy from time to time. But
He'll probably say Tank by a split decision.
I miss Zytel today.
Unanimous decision. All
Yeah,
right.
I would agree. So yeah, what's going on for you guys, for the fans?
We'll be out there. We
Perfect. There you go.
are.
They'll be out there.
we got the press conference. We got the media workout. Media workout is 2 p.m. on Wednesday. Okay. It's at Gleason's gym.
Classic.
They're gonna set us up, and we'll be right there. I might get security because y'all be tripping.
Hey, I'm be in the house.
Y'all, I love y'all.
I'm in the
100,
house.
but y'all be tripping.
And don't ask where I am. I'm not there.
Carson ain't there, but I'll be there.
But-
One half of the Dudley boys.
Can't wait to get to Gleason's gym. I love being there. Can't wait to see y'all. Come hang out with us. Definitely come out and support the fighters out there. All that good stuff. We'll be at the press conference, which will be at Brooklyn at the Marriott. Y'all know where the Marriott is. That's at 1 p.m. on Thursday. We are not going to do the weigh-in.
Okay.
So we're going to try to figure out what we want to do specifically for us on Friday.
Weighing in.
We'll weigh in on that. We'll weigh in on that
big fatties.
later next week and let y'all know. I'm not getting on those scales. Saturday, we're doing pre-fight boxing show at the barbershop.
Okay.
And
And
definitely
we will have merch there to give out. Shout out to Dane and Vanessa. They coming in from Florida with all the merch. So we have Porterway Podcast shirts to give out. Hey, so we got that going. We will be there talking trash, you know. Shout out to, we got some people actually hit me up, said they coming through. So
Frank's Chop Shop.
Oh, there you go.
I think we're gonna be there around. I think we're gonna set up and do it at 10 a.m. We don't have a hard time yet. We will get back to y'all with that, and y'all know we're gonna be live all week.
Yeah.
So definitely check us out on the live.
You guys are gonna hit up juniors. Juniors usually
Gotta hit up juniors. Gotta hit up juniors.
We got to think of something for Friday.
Yeah, we'll
We
think
got
of something Friday.
we got to get something Friday.
Maybe they'll let us set up outside of juniors.
Okay. Okay.
That'd be fly, right?
You might catch me in the chat depending on what's going on.
Maybe that's the day we can go down to Rucker. I got my basketball shorts on.
I'm telling you, I'm calling the cops if you guys go to the Rucker.
And I got, hey, I'll throw the Crocs in sport
Yeah, you
mode.
see them?
Yeah, you're like those guys are not qualified to be out there. And
Coach,
Zytel will be there. I believe.
Yeah, so he can hoop.
I don't know if Zytel can hoop. I would guess.
Zytel can't hoop.
Yeah, I don't think Zytel. Can hoop.
Yeah, it said that about Tony Kukoc, and he dropped 30 on you real quick.
Hell on me.
I'm not sure the Kukoc and Zytel comparison was necessary, but shout out to Tony Kukoc.
Porterway Podcast will be in Brooklyn this week. Everything is live. Y'all know how we do. Well, how I do. Ant's tagging along. Can't wait for that to happen.
Oh, yeah, I'm about to be
Y'all
that
make sure.
live.
Just stay tuned to the Porterway Podcast social channels as well as Showtime Sean P, the social channels. We'll let y'all know exactly where we're at, when we're there. And if y'all can come be a part of it, come get with us.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys for always watching. Like, tell a friend.
Blue Wire Studios.
Click the link below. And of course, yes, we want to shout out and thank Blue Wire Studios right here at the Wynn Hotel and Casino for hosting us, having us, the Porterway Podcast. I told y'all bigger and better.
And thank you for all the fans that have waved Ant today.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to all the fans sending a bunch of stuff to my house for Shawn Porter.
The lady just stopped. She said, who, me? God bless y'all.
Peace.
What's up? I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Ant. Follow me on IG, Ant with 2 T's.
This is the Porterway Podcast. This is Anthony Brunel, and this is Carson A. Merck. Tell them what to do.
Hey, like, subscribe, comment, follow us on all social media platforms.
Subscribe.
I'm from Louisiana. I'll talk with a B. Let's do it. Let's do it again.
All right. Just introduce yourself.
Okay.
And then you tell them what to do.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Porterway Podcast.
You're already here.
Hey, this is our outro. We're going to do it how we want to.
I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Anthony Brendel.
Carson A. Merck. Like, subscribe, comment.
This is the Porterway.